The fucking dream team. And welcome to the SNP podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Kevin. And then we got Dave over here.
What's good?
Dave
I just got out of work.
Co-host, and my other co-host, Jose.
The guy who playfully got disbanded in the first one. Yes, Jose Sosa.
And then we got one of our new co-hosts, Sergio.
A.K.A. Carlos.
A.K.A. Saju.
A.K.A.
A.K.A. Carlos.
I'm taking over Carlos'
We
spot.
did a recap.
Carlos died, and I want to take a moment of silence for that right now.
So I legally changed my name to Carlos.
So we're going to be talking about today. We got a lot of different subjects.
Fuck yeah.
So one of the ones I wanted to talk about, we got Halo is finally coming to PC. It's been so many years. I grew up on that game. Then we got Surya Bonali.
Yeah.
David's going to be
Damn,
telling me
he-
what's
That shit, I can't
It's
believe
gonna-
you pronounced that right.
he's going to be
shit.
telling me. And then we got for Jose's, or what we got is Ross Dress for Less, hosting. We got Ken Romano, Ken Jeong, and Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
A little bit of Elon Musk stories.
So we're going to be
Update.
pulling out some of the things. So let's start off. I'm going to be talking about, Halo. You guys all played it. We all fucking loved it.
I grew up on Halo.
Yeah, dude. I remember bringing in my Xbox to some person's house, and then there would be like
It was a
six
random stranger's
Xboxes-
house.
6 Xboxes set up,
Yeah.
a bunch of
LAN
TVs,
party.
and I'm just like, hey, I've never been to this dude's house, but I'm gonna play some fucking video games. And
That's right.
it's finally coming to PC, which
Very excited.
Combat Evolved was the only one. You played
Yeah, I
it,
played
a
it
lot of it,
heavily.
religiously. Coming to PC, like right now, they said it's in the rumor mill, but really, it's not a matter of.
So
if,
what do
more
you
of when.
what do you mean like coming to PC? As in a sense, like there's been a lot of like people playing Halo on PC for a while, right?
No, only the first one, and then there was another one where Russia made or. A Russian company or something. I forget like
Russia,
that.
bro.
No, there was only Russian servers
Dude,
for it.
we're
They had
online right now.
Halo 3. They had Halo 3 online.
Yes.
You could play on PC, but that was only for Russia that was doing it.
Damn.
And the other way.
Russians are kind of. That's the reason they won the war. It's because of that Halo advancement.
Halo, yeah.
That's
That's
like
totally it.
that's totally it.
This is why the red shall march.
It's crazy because
That's all right. We'll get. There's gonna be somebody
That's
tackling
exciting.
this
That's
door down in a
exciting
couple
news.
seconds.
So it might be in E3 2019.
That's
so
very awesome.
We'll kind of.
do you remember the first time you played Halo?
Oh, dude, I just remember just like going out, like you come out of the dropship and you just look at the halo above you. Like if you look back on the graphics now, it's like, oh man. But
I remember my favorite part about Halo is that you always knew you were at a white dude's house, and my parents would
This
just be like,
motherf-
drop you off in the morning, and then you'd just be like, they'd be like, dude, I can't afford this shit, and this shit is like
Bang.
notch.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up? And I'll be like, dude, they got a flat screen. They got a it's
That's
everything's
growing
going
up
on.
Latino for
That's
you.
growing up
Hell
Latino
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember I only had a PlayStation 2.
That
Like the
is
best
true.
thing we had was
I
like
didn't even
Grand
have
Theft
that.
Auto.
I had a Nintendo 64.
yeah, everything was Nintendo. Right?
Yeah.
Nintendo, yeah.
I put my two Super Nintendos next to each other just so they gather more power so I could fucking play Halo, but then it just turned out I was poor. It was really disappointing.
I remember I had the spike gun, and then I remember like you could melee and fucking stab a dude in the back, and I was like, this shit is the fucking future, man. This shit is the
This is
next
how the
level.
future will be, and then in the future it was just a bunch of fucking bombs dropping from the air.
Jesus. All right, so get back on track. Surya Bonali,
Do you guys
explain.
know?
I don't know.
You know, okay, I gotta throw a little disclaimer out there. I'm a little fucked up, and I'm probably gonna fuck up a lot of things about this story. So the other day, I was going through Netflix and shit, and they got this new show called Losers. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
No.
They go through like famous losers and shit, and they go through like all types of there's so many episodes, but the only episode that I saw was about an ice skater named Surya Bonali, and then I started watching it, and immediately I'm like, oh shit, I know this story. I heard it on Radiolab, which shout out Radiolab is the fucking shit. If you
What
haven't
is
heard
Radiolab?
Radiolab is oh my god, it's one of the greatest podcasts of all time.
What is
especially
this?
Dude, why are you
older
shitting
shit.
on our podcast?
Yeah,
like
why?
that?
Podcast is all about, you know what? You got to shout out when they're doing good. You got to give them their shout outs. And fucking Radiolab is a shit. And I heard this a long ass time ago. So I'm gonna try and give it justice. But basically, it was this girl who got adopted by these two French people, right? And she was actually black. So she was a black girl who got adopted by two French people. She started her life. She started like going into sports and all that kind of shit. And the main thing that got her attention was ice skating, which is like completely left field. You know, not many, you know, African Americans in the ice skating sport.
Statistically, yes.
So right.
Yeah, statistically, yeah, that's just a fact.
Exactly. Yeah. And so she started into it because her mom was into it, and then they caught the eye of like this coach or whatever. They went in to do like tryouts or whatever, and like within weeks she like outdid his like most favored pupils. Like within weeks she fucking caught on, and she started fucking like
Nailing shit.
yeah.
What's up?
And even if you see the Netflix documentary, he was like, dude, the one thing that I could see from her was the heart. Like she would fucking wipe out and like just like bust her ass, like literally bust her shit, and like she would get up, fucking let's do it again. And that's why he was like, dude, like, you know, this girl's got some shit that these girls don't got. I'm gonna keep going with this girl. And then so it went from like, hey, can you keep coming every week to like, can you keep coming every day?
Hey.
Wow.
And so she became his like pupil.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah, and like, but the fucked up part was like, he kind of used, I don't know, he there's some fucked up shit that he used later on, but yeah, I don't know, it's like one of those stories. And then like, so she fucking excels.
She nails it.
She excels, and the one thing is like, she's got this like athletic ability, and she like fucking goes for it. Like, you know, these people do like doubles or triples or whatever, and she like pushes the envelope. So she like does like, you know, like
she does a backflip and hangs up in the air for 30 minutes straight.
Yeah, right. And especially because she had a background in gymnastics. Wow. So she has like this crazy ability, right? So fast forward, she's been into the Olympics, right? She keeps fucking doing silver. She keeps like getting placed silver, like at least two or three times at least. I'm fucking this up, but 2 or 3 times. And it's like the main thing that these guys are saying is like, oh, she seems to have explosive and athletic ability, but artistically and like the look that we're looking for is not what she has.
The look, huh?
The look.
The look.
So this is where we get into
This
it.
is where it gets a little,
borderline.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is where we overcome adversity.
So, AKA, we're going from either A, having the look, which is being able to see, or being blind, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
So-
Dude, blind people get discriminated against all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So most of the skaters are like slim and like, you know, I don't know. It's like they were more slim and more artistic and shit.
Is artistic a characteristic that you can
That's
care?
what they would say. They would say like,
Okay.
oh, they're more artistic. They're more
Like their body type is different,
right. And it's like, what are you trying to say? I mean,
Like,
she's
it's more like
jacked,
slender?
but it's like
as opposed to athletic.
exactly. She's athletic. She's fucking
Oh.
jacked. But
She is
like,
fucking.
she fucking like, you know, brings that shit. So okay, we get to the epitome of like this whole damn thing, the controversy. So she hears them, right? Because they're always saying like, there's even this one commentator who's like, I wish she would just stop trying to do jumps for 5 months and learn how to actually skate. That's like one of the quotes. Dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm live?
This is 90s, bro.
They did that live?
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is 90s. And they said that shit. And then so, dude, we're talking about like a young age. You know what I'm saying? A super young age, at least before 20. So she finally hears them shit. Oh, no. Oh, before I get into all that, her coach was like coming up with rumors and shit, saying that she came from like a tropical island and all that shit. She was not coming. She did not come from a tropical island. She wasn't like in India or like whatever. Like they just
Jesus
adopted
Christ.
her. Yeah, they're like coming up with rumors like, oh, she only ate seeds and like never cut her hair.
Yeah, this
They're trying
girl's
to come up with-
photosynthesized her whole life. She
yeah.
doesn't actually eat physical food.
Exactly. They're trying to say like they're kind of trying to follow this whole exotic theme, right?
Yeah.
And then they interviewed the coach, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was
Can it
just
just
trying
be
to
this
like."
normal girl?
No, it psychologically builds someone to give a higher score because it's like, oh, like that's the one thing that I think is super funny about like, anybody who feels like anybody's falling below the cusp of like what it means to progress in any sport is like sometimes like in somewhere where a judge will go a rating, like boxing, like UFC fighting, like anything, like a judge will like I kind of have a predestined bias where it's like I would want this person to win because of X factors, right? So like they're gonna be like in this favor.
Right.
They always do that.
I think he was just trying to follow that whole mystique, you know?
Yeah.
He's trying to make up rumors and shit, but it's like, dude, it's not true. Just stick to the truth. Like the truth already is like fucking wild.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't add more mysticism
yeah,
to it.
Fuck, come on. Her story's already good. We
Yeah.
don't need to add any more.
Continue.
Yeah. Okay. So they drop the coach. It's just the mom. She sticks to her mom, and her
Mom's
mom,
just so strong.
her mom knows their shit, and her mom knows her daughter, and she keeps pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. She would like drop and
On the
fucking
floor.
bust her ass, and she'd be like, "Dude, I know you. We can keep doing this shit." And everybody's like, "You're so hard on her." No, fuck that shit. I know her. You know.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like the conversation.
I'm pretty much Kevin's dad, and I've pushed him on the floor 100 times.
This motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. So we get to the point where she keeps getting silver. Right? She keeps getting silver. So everybody's saying like she's not artistic enough. She's not, doing her shit, like choreographed enough. So she listens. I'm sorry, I'm getting to the end. No. She listens and she gets a coach. She fucking gets her shit down. She gets that shit down. Also at the same time, all the people that were her main competitors have either gone pro or have gotten injured. So the whole thing is blown wide open. She's like the favorite to win this shit. Everybody's like, dude, I'm pretty sure she's going to win this shit because all her main competitors are gone. She works with a coach that fucking shows her all the artistic levels and everything.
Yeah.
So she's like, this is it. If she's going to win it, it's going to be this one. She goes, she does her thing, and like they even showed the stats. She did like 7 triple whatever,
Axles.
which is like super like
Triple axles, right? That's
Yeah.
right.
she does 7 of those and like 5 combinations.
Christ.
And the chick before her does like 5 triple whatevers
Axles.
and no combinations, right?
Yeah.
They go into a draw, which is basically like the judges choose.
That's bullshit.
They choose
Oh, my.
who wins. And the girl that she's competing against, she's in her home country, right? I don't know if it was Japan or China. One of those. And it's come to the moment where it's like, dude, she's done everything. She's always gotten silver for X, Y reasons and all that. She's like in this moment. They basically decide if she's gonna be silver or gold. They fucking give her silver.
Oh
They
my
give the other
God.
girl gold, right? This is one of the most controversial moments in her career. I'm sorry. So they call her out, right? She gets silver and she doesn't come out immediately. Like she's already like, oh shit. She doesn't like come out to get her medal. She takes forever. She finally comes out and she's smiling. She waves to the crowd. And they're like, all right. They give her the no. They're like, all right, stand on the podium, and the podium is like 3rd, 2nd, and then like 1st is on top, right?
Traditionally, yes.
Yes. And she doesn't get on the podium.
What?
Yeah, she doesn't get on the podium, and everybody's like, "Oh, boo!"
This
and all
is
that
bullshit.
shit. She's like a 19-year-old girl. I don't know how old she is. She's really young, and she's crying, right?
I just imagine going through that, like thousands of people.
Or like your whole life
Yeah.
training for a fucking
Try-
moment, and you know that you're good, but they're not fucking giving you your validation. I'm like feeling, empathy in this moment. The guy comes on, he gives her his silver medal or whatever, and he's like, and he takes her hand and he like places her on 2nd place. So she's on 2nd place, right? And she's crying still. She takes off the medal, and like everybody's like, "Oh my god, she's not
my
leaving the." She's like basically in that moment, subtly, what is she doing? She's like protesting like this medal, this thing that you've given me superficially, is not representative of what I have done and what I believe I am. My value is not this silver medal. And that's what I think is super powerful, right? And they give the girl, her gold medal, and everybody's talking shit. And then she gets off and they like confront her, right? And she's crying already. Yeah. I mean, she's been crying for a while. And they're like, what's wrong? Have they been treating you unfairly? Do you believe you should get the gold? And she doesn't say it up front like that. And she's like, I'm just not lucky. But she's crying and she has an accent. But she's like, I'm just not lucky. That's all she says, which is like, damn, she's not even throwing shade yet. Like, she's just like subtly protesting it.
I'll bring us back to another like moment in sports later.
All right.
That's along the same lines. But I feel like that's somebody who's classy enough to know that I can't do what I say I know I should do, aka I should just blow out right now and just have my moment of like, this is unfair, this is not what I want. But she knows that her future is in the sport, therefore I have to move forward, right?
Yeah. And then so we fast forward from there. It's been like another 4 years. It's another Olympics. Okay? This is the end of the story. So everybody's been talking. They're like, all right, this is Surya Bonali's last fucking Olympics. This is like the end of her prime. After this, she will never be in the Olympics again. She goes into this. She's already had surgery on her Achilles tendon. It's like stitched together. And in the training, as she's in the Olympic camp or whatever, she pulls a muscle.
Wow.
So this is the end. The doctors talk to her and they're like, dude, you're done. And she's like, you know what? I'm already here. Fucking pump me up with whatever you need. I'm going to go on. I'm already here.
With all the Mexican
Fuck this shit.
supplements.
All the Mexican supplements.
I love that heart, right?
Yeah.
You can immediately recognize, like, damn, I love that fucking heart.
That's right.
So she goes
He's about
on.
to burst into tears right now, guys.
so she goes on, right? This motherfucker's crying and shit. Dude, you gotta watch this shit. All right. So she goes on, right? It's already her last Olympics. She goes on to do her, her routine. She already fucking wipes out. She falls.
Oof.
Because she's so fucked up. Her legs, this Achilles tendon is
I
barely.
feel like a movie's playing in my head.
Yeah, that's
the
the
way.
Yeah, you're playing this up very
This
well.
is what I'm saying. Like,
I'm
this shit.
getting a vivid picture right
Yeah,
now.
like when they did that Tanya movie, I'm like, dude, they should have done a movie on this girl. This girl was like way. I don't know. I feel it's more inspirational.
I don't know. Somebody beat the shit out of someone in that
I don't
movie.
give
I
a
thought it was
fuck.
dope.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a
Listen,
fuck.
wait till the rest of the story. So she's healing this fucking leg. She pulled the muscle over here, and they even interview her, and she's like, at this moment, I already fallen. I know it's like, if I'm gonna win this shit, I'm gonna have to do a triple whatever the fuck, and I can't do it. I can't do it. My legs aren't. My body's falling. So at this moment, she decides it's like, do something out of the box completely. Go down as a fucking legend, or try to do your best to do whatever they told you to do, and try and see if you can compete. Right. So she goes out there, she skates, she fucking does a backflip, does a split in midair upside down, and lands on one fucking foot, her good foot, and fucking nails that. I mean, she just fucking, and everybody like loses their fucking minds. Nobody has ever done a backflip on the ice skating rink. And it's a little note, she could always do a backflip since forever. I just never mentioned it because it's illegal to do in the Olympics.
What?
Yeah, but because she landed it on one foot, there's like a little loophole that, if you landed on one foot, a jump is like legal or some shit like that. So she landed it on one foot. Like, it's almost like that Karate Kid moment where they only have one leg to fucking do the damn thing, and they use it to fucking knock it out.
The
And
swan
she
kick,
did the
baby.
fucking backflip on one fucking
Crazy.
leg.
I understand.
You know
Well,
what
it's
I'm
like when Machida did it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
she did it on one fucking leg, bro. And then they disqualify her. She already knew. She knew that she was gonna be disqualified. Like, it's for sure. But in that moment,
But how badass.
yeah, exactly.
Do you get out of the rink like, yeah, I did that? Like,
Exactly. Nobody, like, they even
Fuck.
interview gold medalists, and they're like, I could never do a backflip. I tried to do a backflip. I busted
All
my
right.
shit.
So she landed this backflip. She got disqualified.
She did.
Yeah. So continue.
And basically, in that moment, she leaves the medals, right? She doesn't get placed as gold, silver, or bronze, but she enters something that's, legend status, right? And they interview gold medalists, and they're like, dude, I tried to do a backflip. I split my orbital, all that shit.
Orbital bone.
Yeah. They're like,
Skulls.
they interview the guys, and they're like, you should listen. That's why I keep saying to listen to that podcast, because they interview gold medalists, and they're like, I try that shit, I can't do it. and that's why it's illegal because it's unsafe to do. She's one of the only ones that could do that shit.
Wow.
And she did it, and she goes into the legend status. And from this,
she could like tear an ACL or something like
yeah, and she imagine that.
And
You
she
know what I'm
did it.
saying? She's like already fucked up in so many different ways. She lands that shit, and in that moment, they name that move the Bonali or whatever.
Dang.
And
She
yeah,
got a move named after her.
exactly.
How badass is that?
Exactly, and the guy even says, he's like, you know what? I can't tell you who placed gold that year, but everybody can tell you about who did a fucking backflip in that fucking ring that day.
Yeah.
And that was like. I was like, damn. When I heard that story, I was like, fuck, that's such a good story. I gotta share that story, and that's why I brought it here, guys.
Oh.
I hope you guys liked it. It was a little lame. I know ice.
Lame? Why do you
Ice,
think it's like-
ice skating is a little fucking weird, but
Trust yourself.
yeah. So yeah.
No, I think that's amazing. I really, really feel like that proves a little bit of what we're missing in society today, which is like kind of like looking for, I don't know. It's not a competitive factor, like, hey, like this person's starting from behind, you know what I mean? But it's like this person persevered, you know? And I love when people start off a little behind but persevere. Like perseverance is a great story.
Yeah, a good adversity story.
It's fun fact. Also, they even said they're like, oh, if she would have been in the Olympics today, it's a different scoring system. So in this day now, athletic moves and like shit like that, where she does her triple and whatever jumps,
Or scored higher.
would have scored higher.
Wow.
So odds are she would have probably been gold nowadays.
Now, do you think they changed the scoring because of, that,
Maybe.
That's a good point to bring up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about the whole thing was like, why did they never give her the gold? She's been silver so many goddamn times. And they're like, was it, And they even had this French lady from like some sort of school board or whatever, and she legit said it. She was like, it was racism. Racism was the reason why they didn't give her that gold. And, they were saying like when they said these words, like it was very subtle, But that's what she said. And so I was like, damn, it gives you in that.
Gives you a little bit of perspective.
Yeah,
on it,
it's very hard to say because like I see the girl who got gold, and dude, she did pretty good. But it's like, I don't know, man. This girl did things that like were never done before. They were illegal for the reasons why, because nobody else wanted to do them because it couldn't be done, and she did this shit.
She proves them wrong.
So,
It's a feel good
Alright.
story.
Moving on.
all right,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that I like that story. It you really surprised me a lot with that one.
My friends like me.
All right, so who wants to go next? You want to tell your Elon Musk story?
Yeah, I have some Elon Musk news.
Elon?
Elon, if you
Elon.
guys don't know, he's the CEO of Tesla,
SpaceX, and a bunch of
SpaceX,
other
and
stuff.
The Boring Company.
Oh yeah.
So he's an entrepreneur of sorts. People say he's the Batman of our age.
He is.
How? I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be awesome if he has a Batcave somewhere. Elon Musk riding down with the Batmobile.
I mean, I did
Tesla
see him where
mobile.
he was in his
I have a
office.
bad
He's like,
cave,
hey,
too.
let's try out this flamethrower, guys.
He made a freaking flamethrower.
Yeah.
And
My
now
back
he's
cave is.
digging tunnels through the fucking
So
earth
so
he can go fast.
what's the thing that you're
So he's coming under fire because not so long ago he went into the podcast of Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
okay?
It's a good
That was a long time ago. Yeah. He was
He
telling.
smoked some pot,
Some ganja.
some herb.
No, no one proved that he actually inhaled that. Unlike my
Yeah.
president, AJ OG Bush.
Word. But he's been coming on like through some scrutiny about not only him smoking, but like not him using his Twitter account. He's been posting stuff that he shouldn't, sharing some information of his company Tesla, and many of the shareholders do not like that. The investors do not like that.
Is it done in a marketing aspect?
I think so. It just more or less they don't want people finding out like finances, through the company.
I'm sorry.
Not only that, but also he's also changing the automobile industry a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he is. he has gotten rid of basically how it's traditionally structured for a car business or automobile industry, where you have a salesman, selling you a car. You go to a dealership, you see a car, they'll try to sell it to you, but now he's gotten rid of that. His view of shopping for a car is going online, looking for it,
and then you custom tailor it.
Right? Being Tesla or Elon Musk, knowing he has a good product, car's gonna sell himself.
Yep.
So he's basically chopped the sales department off. There's nothing. You can't buy a car at a Tesla facility. You have to order it online.
That's a huge amount of budget they gained back from not having a sales or department.
It is. I think that's a very strategic move with cutting costs, especially when you want to have basically a luxury car at $35,000. I know he's unveiled, I think, the Model 3.
He has a new SUV out right now. I forgot the name of it. I wish I remembered, but you cut the cost of it, and if you want the fancy self-driving and all that, it can easily go up to like $60,000.
But I want to see what you guys thought about the whole clean movement of cars, going away from more like traditional coal and
dude, I'm all for it.
You guys are for the electric and the automation of cars, especially.
Yeah, I mean, anything towards because I remember when I was like 8 years old, Al Gore was talking about right, dude, you remember in elementary
the Inconvenient Truth or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he was talking about
the most inconvenient truth I ever experienced in my life is when my girlfriend was cheating on me.
Well,
yes, that would be one. Yeah,
that would be one.
Straight into the camera.
But
I hate you, bitch.
Yes,
but yeah, Al Gore talked about environmental issues and stuff. He talked about that. How old? That must have been.
Dude, that was a long time.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Like 20 years ago. 20. He's been. I saw on a news thing. It's like I've been talking. He's been talking about it for 30 years. I mean, obviously, I would remember from 30 years, but I remember from 20 years, that he was talking about.
I remember
he was when he was going against Bush.
Yeah, but straying too far away from Elon Musk. I mean.
But yeah, back on Elon Musk. Yeah, the sales department being cut off. That actually is really helpful for the company because I know he was under scrutiny for.
I think so too.
They were like a money pit.
I would like to say, I don't know if you heard about this, but he released the patents on his fucking technology for fucking $3.99.
$3.99.
So that
this
the
dude's
world
trying to be like Nikola Tesla. Dude.
Yeah, no, or like the guy who fucking invented the cure for what was it?
Herpes.
That's a smart move on his.
No,
end.
there's a guy
for humanity.
There was a guy that fucking discovered the cure to what was that? Was it
Gonorrhea?
No, it was a thing. Tuberculosis, wasn't it? TB. That they're like, you could have sold this at the highest dollar, and you would have made bank. And he's like, nah, man, I didn't make that shit to make bank. I made that shit to help the world. Mm-hmm. He didn't put no patents on that shit. And he's like, let's help the whole entire world. Same thing, Tesla, dude. Yeah. I mean, Elon Musk is
So as a humanitarian, I feel like he's really pushing the envelope, and I mean, I feel like that is to be appreciated. But I mean, regardless, no matter what I do in my life, if I begin my commerce through business, I mean, I have a debt to my stakeholders, right? So I
feel like he's probably already made that with all the the Boring Company and everything. He's probably like, dude, we're good. Like, bro, we're good. Let's help the world,
Then let's
is the difference between every other fucking company. When they come up with shit, what do? They milk even if they're 3 times over rich.
They're
think about
it.
Milk this shit.
Him overcoming. Speaking of overcoming challenges, he's another great example of him with SpaceX. His first couple missiles failed miserably. He lost thousands of money. He was putting
millions.
He was putting money out of his own pool of cash.
Yeah. Overcoming to me only means getting past 17, not a virgin, and I think I nailed that shit. I think somebody could attest to that. That girl.
Not at 17, at 23.
All right, moving on.
So yeah, what's one thing you wanted to bring to the show?
All right, so moving on to my subject, I feel like I've been watching and doing like a lot of things on Netflix, aka hanging out with myself, aka crying a lot, and I've been watching a lot of comedy specials on there. I feel like one to check out is the Ray Romano special that's coming out. Let's see, or right here around the corner. I got word of this from one of my coworkers, Matt, and he let me know that it was like something that he thought like had a little bit of a gimmick to it, because like he's rolling into it. Ray Romano hasn't done a special in forever, and he does something in the Comedy Cellar and then something right around the corner in another venue, and he has like a right in front of him camera kind of following him from the first venue to the second venue. And I do agree with my friend Matt. Like I really feel like that has like a little bit of like a gimmick to it. Like doing a 1 hour special on Netflix, everyone's doing it, you know? Anyone that's getting a little bit of a spark is going to do like a 1 hour special. But like for him to jump in on the craze, you just can't give Ray Romano like a special. I mean, he needed a little something, you know? So like obviously he's rolling down. He does 30 minutes in the Comedy Cellar, the original Comedy Cellar, and I think that 30 minutes does very well. I think it's very Ray Romano-esque, very similar to the sitcom, comedy style wise.
Why it's like very.
It's like, I don't know. It's just, if you watch that thing, if you watch his sitcom, if you watch Everyone Loves Raymond, like
I'm Raymond.
I mean, it's not. He's not a.
Because I've heard that he's
not
like a really good comedian.
He's a great comedian,
Yeah.
right? So him laying down into that, like it's a very great 30 minutes, and then
God, Kevin.
No, go ahead. Continue.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, that was me. Sorry.
So, him going into the second half of that special is very nice to see, because he essentially has a good 30 minutes and then has a better 30 minutes at another venue and goes through the streets of New York, just turns the corner and goes right down to another cellar, and then has a great 30 minutes with somebody else or a complete different crowd, and way better crowd, way better jokes. And I really think that if you are a comedy fan, if you are somebody that's looking at watching something brand new, it might not be your cup of tea, but it's like if you love seeing something a little different, I feel like you need to watch that kind of stuff. It pushes the envelope a little bit more. And then moving on to something that I feel like doesn't push the envelope a little bit more, Ken Jeong from The Hangover, pretty much.
Yeah.
Did you guys know who he is? The Hangover. You guys all seen The Hangover?
The gay boy guy?
Gay boy?
Hey, boy.
Yeah.
The doctor?
Yeah. So Ken Jeong, he has a special called "You Complete Me Ho," and "You Complete Me Ho" is like the guy from The Hangover, Mr. Chong. Mr. Chong? Yeah, he's the guy that pops out of the back of the car and beats the shit out of Bradley Cooper. He is the comedic motherfuckers. He's a great comedic relief to that movie. Like it's a whole comedy movie. Obviously, the whole movie is a comedic relief to society. But I really feel like that comedy special came out. I had high expectations for it because I thought that naturally he'd be a great stand-up. I really feel like he relies too much on the stories that led him there. There's not a lot of real material.
That kind of gimmick shit?
If I were to say the reason that I put these two things together is that I feel that Ray Romano was a very gimmicky kind of thing that went going. And if I watched it back to back with Ken, that was way more gimmicky than Ray Romano was. I feel like.
What do you think about Jerry Seinfeld doing the whole thing? Can you do also a Netflix special?
Yeah, and I mean that's something that I haven't watched, but I mean I feel like I can jump into that kind of stuff later. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld is someone that's kind of untouchable when it comes to he can just do whatever he wants. But I mean Ken Jeong he could have done a little bit better. He could have had more material for that. And there are some great moments in that series, like in that 1 hour. Like I feel like he went into a bunch of really great untouchable like Asian humor, were in the fact that like there's a lot of coincidences that happen in that 1 hour special that like if you were Asian you would know how coincidental that kind of stuff is when it comes to last names and how common they are amongst the Asian community. Very picked. Like in the Hispanic community is the same thing. I mean my name is Jose. And there's a million of us, so it's like which one? So the last names in Asian in the Asian community is the same. So like, it's something nice to watch, but
like if you're in Korea, you'd find a Kim everywhere.
Yeah,
or a park.
So it's like it's something to watch, but something that I truly would feel like watch the Ray Romano special. It's something not to miss. The Kim Jong special is something that I could do without with, but I would say that if you're a huge Hangover fan, if you really care about that guy as a person, his story is amazing. That I won't take anything away from that. It is inspiring and it is something to watch every day. But that's where I leave that.
Where would you, if you had one comedian that you would recommend to watch? Maybe not mainstream. Would you have one? Or?
Adam Caton Holland.
Adam Caton? Who?
Adam Caton Holland.
I gotta look him up.
Yeah. Watch him. He's great. I mean, in May, I'm gonna go watch a stand-up festival in Milwaukee. It's gonna do very good. He headlined that shit last year.
Oh, okay. I'll look him up.
Yeah, look him up, and then Cream City Festival next year in Milwaukee. It's gonna be tight. Me and Kevin are definitely gonna know. He's probably gonna lose his job for asking for those days.
All right, we're getting back from break, and so we're finishing off with UFC news. So what's on the tickets?
All right, so the thing that we should talk about the most is this last weekend. It was impressive, and I will not take it more than 5 minutes on the subject that there were some huge upsets, and there were some I knew that was going to happen. But some of the things that I knew were going to happen didn't happen the way that I thought they were going to. So I did not expect Ben Askren to win the way he was going to win.
Fuck, man, he got murdered.
Dude,
for like.
So yeah, he was getting his face.
I showed Kevin this because I was like, we're gonna talk about this shit.
Dude, he was getting his face wrecked, and I was like, oh, dude, this is an easy win for him first round. He was just like, and then all of a sudden, the dude lost his footing, and then he was like a snake, just wrapped his arm around him.
Yeah.
It was fucking like it was over.
How do you feel about the stoppage?
So. There's been plenty of speculation on this, and I feel like this is 100% very true, I think, in my mind. Which is like, there was a good solid, if you put it at best, between speculation, a minute 30 to 2 minutes, right? That's a 30-minute gap, but I mean, like, there was 2 minutes left on the clock. He was going to choke that dude out.
Okay.
Herb Dean doesn't stop it, he's going to choke that dude out. He doesn't stop it. He's going to keep on cranking on that dude's neck the same way that it could be cranked on Connor's neck.
How do you feel about this stoppage, though?
It needed to happen. It wasn't more than 20 seconds more from happening. Okay. It needed to happen.
Yeah, the way that I feel is...
Robbie Lawler is one of the toughest motherfuckers on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could grab a fucking brick, throw it at that dude's nutsack, and you know what? He's gonna come kill me. You know, like he's not gonna stutter and take a second, maybe try to pray to his mom and be like, "Please, mom, stop me from the pain that's happening right now." He's gonna come and find me. He's gonna kill me. Robbie Lawler is a motherfucker, right? For Ben Askren to just pause on that for like half a second, and Kevin is my fucking lifeline to this. If you fucking put a guy in a bulldog choke, right?
Yeah. I've done this plenty of times.
And you crank on that dude's neck, and he goes out, and somebody stops you from doing it. You loosen up, right?
Yeah.
You're unrestricting that blood flow back into the brain. Like the guy probably got some wits about him again, fucking went back into it, right?
Yeah.
And then said some shit. It's okay. Like it's like, but if that dude had cranked on that even more and held it, like he's gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
Man.
Now, David.
Okay. So. Joe Rogan mentioned this on his last podcast, but he said it doesn't need to be under the chin to fucking choke a guy out.
That's what I'm saying.
Your strength is hard enough, and even if you're over the chin and you're fucking,
it's winning.
Yeah, you're fucking blocking that blood flow or whatever. And now Ben Askren has been famous for fucking breaking watermelons in his grip from that same.
Is he
exact
famous for
fucking-
that?
Yeah, they've
Like
been.
Gallagher famous?
I don't know about that shit. I don't know. Fuck Gallagher. Fuck that motherfucker. Anyways, but they were saying
Sure
that
he's
like,
gonna find you now.
fuck that bitch. Come at me, motherfucker. No,
Fuck the Gallagher.
I'm the real corner here. Fuck you. No. But he's been known to fucking break watermelons from that grip, and
He's got the crank.
man. He's got him, and his fucking arm goes limp. And even Joe Rogan said he went limp, and then Ben Askren, the ref,
Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, which I love. Herb Dean.
Herb Dean's he's the top notch now.
Gold standard
He's the gold standard now.
for me.
McCartney's
he's been,
gone. McCartney's gone. He's commentating now.
Mm-hmm.
It's now Herb Dean. Herb Dean is the motherfucker.
Even before McCartney was gone, he was the gold standard.
Dude, I would let Herb Dean referee my sex.
He.
Like, let me know
I would let
if I was
Herb
going
Dean-
down low too hard.
I would let Herb Dean let me marry somebody. If he said nah, bro, then I'd be like, all right,
That's all right. No, he's not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
But anyway, his arm went limp, and then Ben Askren said that when he first started saying oh, get off him or whatever, he started loosening the grip, and that's when his fucking arm went back up. So I feel like he went limp, he was out, and then Herb Dean started kind of like, hey, what's going on? And that's when he loosened his grip, and then he came back in. And that's at the end. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But I mean, regardless of all speculation, Robbie Lawler took that shit. He was like,
He's a champion.
Yeah,
He's a champion. He's been there before.
he was complaining at first, and then he on a dime, he was like, "Dude, it's all good." Like, you know what, bro?
It's a fight. It's
all
a
good.
fight, and it is what it is. So
I love Robbie Lawler.
the Robbie Lawler is a Class A champion, and to be honest, I mean, there's nothing less of his fights with Rory McDonald to point out that and I've showed you that fight. I've showed you that fight, the Rory McDonald fight.
I feel like the biggest upset, though, other than that, I mean, like
It's
one of the
Tyron
ones-
Woodley.
No, okay, that one too. But before we get into that one, what about Diego Sanchez against
Mickey, get it out.
fucking Mickey? Go.
Mickey, I'll wreck your mother and I'll wreck your dad, girl. I'll wreck your sister. She'll get 2 kids and then I won't respond for them, girl.
And
What'd you
that's how
think
you
about
ghost on somebody.
What'd you think?
In our podcast.
I really feel like that guy talked a lot of shit and tried to fight like someone who he thought was a deadbeat who he's gonna try to run through. And Diego Sanchez proved otherwise. I've always had tons of faith in the fact that Diego Sanchez is ready to sit there and trade with someone, and his chin is not rocked. When has he been rocked? Not after hundreds of shots. Like, Diego Sanchez is somebody to be reckoned with, but on the back end of a 14-year career, I could see how that was an easy shot for Mickey Gall to try to take. For Diego to say afterwards that he has a chance at the belt, I mean, he's still got a lot of work to go. But I mean, I'm a Diego Sanchez fan to the T.
All right. Well, I love Diego Sanchez.
I love Diego Sanchez.
His battle with Clay Guida is
It's fight of the year.
yeah.
It was fight of the year for that
one
year.
for the history books. But that being said, he shouldn't have won this fight, and he fucking showed his heart, which nobody questioned.
He loves heart.
And his shit is, I love Diego Sanchez, but I don't know, man. I was pretty sure that Mickey Gall should have won this fight, and going into this fight, he showed. I don't know. I feel like his weight cut must have been hard. I was like, dude, does this guy got
Doesn't matter, man. When you're struggling like that and you bite someone on the chest,
That was a bitch
that
move.
was a bitch move. Did you guys see that
was a
shit?
bitch.
So Diego Sanchez goes on afterwards
Yeah.
to show that he has a big old bite mark on his chest because he was pummeling this dude down like prison style,
God.
and he was just like he was getting in there.
Jesus.
He was, I don't know, there was a lot of
You're really
fucking hip pivot.
descriptive.
That was very hip pivoty. It was like
no,
for
it's all
the-
good. I
By all means, go.
Sorry, all right. All right. So he hip pivoted onto this dude. This guy flipped around because he had him in a full. He was mounting him from the back, and he did a full mount afterwards. And I'm pretty sure there is footage where someone fucking captures it and nails it down. But Mickey Gall bit Diego Sanchez on the fucking chest.
What a gangster is Diego Sanchez, where he's like, I didn't tell
And
the
he doesn't
ref.
report it. He doesn't,
Yeah.
because you could tell it like, hey, this dude just bit me. Like,
Right.
you
But he
know,
was like, I ain't no bitch.
and he's a no bitch.
He's like, I didn't tell the ref.
He said,
But look at
look
this
at me,
shit.
and I still
Nah.
won.
fucked your shit up. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all right. And that's a very.
God
I mean, Mickey
damn.
Gall will literally like in the UFC 5 game. They're gonna add like a special code where like you can bite someone and lose a point like on purpose, but like that health bar will go down that much and they can't recuperate that much, right? You know, it's just it is what it is, right?
It's a cheat
So,
move.
it's a cheap move. It's a cheap. It's gonna be cheap. It's gonna be cheap, but I mean, I'll play that move every time because I was like, if I was in a real fight, dude,
I'd bite.
I'd take my dick out.
All right,
Wait, what?
What did you think about Abraham Lincoln versus Jeremy Stevens? I'm sorry, Zabit Magomedov.
I was like, Abraham.
Look at it.
He's a historical
He
figure.
looks
No.
exactly like Abraham Lincoln.
Jeremy Stevens should have won that fight. I feel like that guy.
What?
Yeah. No,
How?
not actually. He lost that fight, but I'm saying he
Oh.
should have won that fight, like conceptually. I 100% feel that. The guy is gonna dance around him all day. Like he should have fucking closed the distance and fucking landed a bomb on that guy. Like Zabit, he can do whatever he wants to do in that fight, and he can be one of the. But he didn't leave that fight proving to me that he's a world champion. Like I can dance around 20 or 30 guys if I run around for like in a cockfight. Like if that chicken runs for 10 hours, it's all right. Who's winning? No one really knows. I mean, he can't reach him.
What do you think about the Yair Rodriguez versus Zabit Magomedov?
That's the fight to make.
Huh?
That's the fight to make.
What do you take?
I think that Yair can hit it. He's been there more. This guy's not been tested. Who's tested this guy?
But Zabit has fucking takedown game, man.
It's
His
all right. You
takedown
can't
game
test
is
him,
the
dude.
Shit, and that's
It's
the
like
way
me
that-
at the end of high school year. Who's testing me? All right, go fuck yourselves. I hate you guys. You guys are fucking dick. Fuck the government, bro. Fuck that shit. I was like, all right, but are you smart?
But the one way that Yair got his ass beat was
Yair.
with Frankie Edgar when he got taken down. He got his ass beat. And
It's all right, and you get one chance to like better
I
yourself.
love Yair. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Yair, and I hope he can fucking win this. But he's posing a lot of strengths and the other guy's weaknesses. Okay, going on to Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman. Marty, what do you think?
I'm gonna go for the second guy because I like his name.
Okay.
Right. So Kamaru Usman came in there. Tyron Woodley was obviously out of the fucking funk. Funky. He was not funky as his wrestling mate is.
Fuck.
I know. He lost that fucking fight, and he deserves to lose that fight because he didn't come in there focused to handle a guy that is literally trying to win a fight through perseverance, training. He's got all the factors, and Kamaru Usman is a true championship fighter, and he proved it that time, and he will prove it time and time again. I'm excited to see him fight Colby. And it is what it is. I mean, I feel like Kamaru Usman is the new champion. I don't have any gripes about Tyron losing it. It's what needed to happen.
Okay, I feel I don't know, man. I feel Tyron didn't look like himself. I feel like either between the recording of his new album or all that shit that he decided to release the day after he fought, I feel like maybe his focus wasn't enough, or he was injured, or something was off. But I feel like we didn't see the Tyron Woodley that fought Darren Till. We didn't see that kind of focus.
If you Kevin, you've wrestled before, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you go into a match, right, and the week before you get broken up with your girlfriend, right? Like your girlfriend sucks 7 dudes' dicks.
So you would.
Avidly.
That's really
Avidly. Like it's not
really
like
expressive.
7 dudes at the same time,
So
but
you
it's
just
like,
make an album right before your fight.
dude, what the fuck? I was just describing a bunch of dick sucking. All right, it would look, all right. Your girlfriend sucks 7 dudes'
All right,
dicks.
it's gonna
Bro.
really explicit, but go on.
Okay.
All right,
My emotional status is compromised. Is what you're saying?
all right. It wasn't all at the same time though. It's
oh.
it was like 7 dudes, but in the same week.
Oh, okay.
Like one dude a day.
Fuck.
She made 7
You're
conscious
giving me
decisions.
flashbacks to something that never happened.
Okay, maybe that didn't happen that way, but it's like if it happened once a day, that was 7 different decisions. If it was like, if it was just like all at the same time, it was one decision. But it like all she feels guilty about it a little bit. I mean, maybe.
All right, let's get back to the part where I'm wrestling.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the time when you're wrestling another dude in skin tight shit and just like putting him down on the floor. All right, so like.
looks nice. Right?
All right,
I
so.
do have a nice ass.
Oh my god! All right, so back to my point. This is. All right, so this is like.
The liquor is flowing.
I know. It's
That's
like
why.
so. This is like putting you in a different state of mind, right? You're going in. You're gonna wrestle this guy. You're gonna try to win this match, right?
Yeah.
Does this or does this not affect your mental state going into a fight, right? So
Yeah.
what? No, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, hey, like.
Yes, I would be a little distracted. Like
All right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, all
everybody
right.
would.
So let me bring it all
What does that
back.
do
Let
with
me
this
bring it.
fight?
Let me bring it all back. All right. Maybe this might be my thing throughout these
Worst
podcasts.
example ever.
All right. No, this is 100% true.
What the fuck? No, it's not.
No, it's 100% true. Listen, he was recording an album. He was on TMZ. He was like daily, like posting his shit on Instagram, live feeding, like doing shit with people. Like he was doing over 7 different types of media format. Like this guy was like doing Twitter feeds. Like he's doing everything. This is 7 different dicks that he's sucking, right?
Wow.
And this
Not
is
his girl though.
hey, if I'm not doing it and she's doing it, I'm still thinking about it. And if he's doing it personally, then he's thinking about it even more. So why am I not right in the situation?
Not at all. What the mentality is going into this fight. Go ahead.
He had his mind stuck in 7 dicks
Not at all.
on 7 different days.
7.
I completely disagree.
That's why.
And
why he lost.
And that's why he lost.
That's why he lost.
Because there was.
Interesting.
Yes, I think.
Going off of that at all, not in any way, shape, or form.
7 different dicks.
So, what do you guys think of this
Once a day.
upcoming fight?
Wait,
Derek
wait,
Lewis,
hold on.
right?
Derek
No, fuck that shit. We'll get to that. Okay, no, not at all.
7 different dicks.
That has no shape, or way, or form at all. His mentality. Yeah, maybe he fucked up and he started focusing on the wrong things. He trained with Ben Askren. My thing is like, did he overtrain? Was he, not? In the
No,
right
he didn't
frame of
overtrain.
mind?
He undertrained.
Okay, but I don't think so.
No,
There is
100%
such a thing
think
as
so.
overtraining.
He wasn't overtraining.
Do you know what overtraining is?
Yeah, overtraining is you hit it so hard that you're just tired.
Too
That
much.
could be
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
Why do you think not?
He was undertraining because he's not spending the right amount of time focusing on fighting.
How do you know that though?
Because he does a rap album. He's on TMZ. Like
Maybe.
you have to separate yourself mentally by those things. Look, listen.
But
I can do anything. I can do this podcast, right? I can do. I can even just try to be a bow hunter, right? If I'm not bow hunting every day, if I'm not thinking about that every day, if my mind is not set in that every day,
Right.
it's like let's talk about let's bring it back to Olympian championship skating. If you're not thinking about that every day, if you're not doing that every day,
Well, you got to get personal, bro.
it isn't Olympian championship mentality, and he doesn't have it anymore because he's going different ways. He's
No,
thinking
yeah, I
about
see.
different ways going, and like he can
And
he can show up to training every day. His mind's not there.
And the whole Fox and ESPN fucking deal where he's like,
I'm not really aware of that.
wasn't he on stage for a while though on ES? I don't know about ESPN, but for Fox, remember he was like a commentator for a long time.
He was commentating, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like where I stand on that is 100% true in the fact that he doesn't
I
have
think
his mind there.
he probably got cocky. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll
I
see.
mean,
You know what? I'm not a Tyrone Woodley fan. I actually want to see him press Dana White down on the floor and kind of teabag him a little.
Yeah, me too.
That would make me feel like very happy.
What do you think about Kobe being the next title shot now for Kamaru? They already like.
It's probably gonna happen in Chicago. We're all going.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Think about that. The June
Fuck it,
card.
bro. You want to watch
Let's
it?
do that shit,
Yeah.
boy.
Doing.
Chi-Town, West Side, what's up,
West
gangsters?
Side.
West Side. All right. Going into that, I feel like that it might be a very good card to watch later on. But I mean, let's focus on the next card.
Okay,
Sergio
but-
brought it up. The Block Beast, right?
The beast.
Wait, before that, John Jones, Anthony Smith. What'd you think? Real quick. if you can.
Real quick, threw an illegal knee. I'm really good on Anthony Smith being a very fucking strong fighter and fucking taking that knee and being like, I'm not fucking Rock. Let's do this shit again.
Even then, he could have easily been like, you know what? You taking picograms? You fucking here, pregnant ladies? Fuck that shit. You got disqualified. I'm the new champ.
I've done picograms of
and cashed $1 million check for the rematch, even if he lost.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I
not,
completely was like, damn, he let all that shit go.
doesn't matter, man. That's not a
I
championship.
know, I love that shit. I
Yeah.
love that shit. But I was like, dude, anybody else would have been like, fuck that shit.
To fill these two guys in on what happened on that, like,
Okay, sorry.
like, there's a championship fight. A guy throws an illegal knee and hits someone straight in the face with it, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to point out that Dan Hardy, who I've shown like that, did that same exact thing. Dan Hardy like hit someone in the face with an illegal knee, right?
Okay.
And that guy quit. He loses that match immediately.
Who was that?
Dan Hardy.
Against who?
I don't know because that guy was a nobody.
Was a nobody.
Really?
It's all right. It's like me to my dad. I'm nobody. It's all right.
Oh my god.
All right.
Okay.
All right. It's
He didn't know that about your personal life.
my dad's my
He's
best
now
friend. The police
discovering
I didn't know that about your dad, though.
So it's like he did it to somebody and then they disqualified him immediately. Why? Because that guy couldn't continue. All right, you got kneed in the face, you can't continue.
All right.
And Lionheart Smith did not.
I love that.
He did not take it. He just said like, "Oh right, I got knee in the face. Whatever. I'm
No,
gonna."
he said, I want to win this championship. I don't want to steal it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's badass.
here's
Anybody else though would have cashed that $1 million
$1 check.
paycheck
That's right, baby.
and like whatever, beat my ass in the second fight, whatever. I got $1 million motherfucking dollars. My family, my kids are all paid for.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's the one thing. It's like your love for your family and all that shit would have been like, fuck it, let's take this fucking DQ, regardless. And in the most justifiable way, John Jones. I mean, he's been pissing hot. You know, he's been winning it. I mean, he's been winning in the most weirdest ways, and you know, he's infamous for.
I
the
wish I had a
whole-
picogram of that guy's success. Yeah, none like that. I feel like
Yeah, but I mean, even then, like he's been famous for poking guys in the eyes.
Mhm.
And,
fucking guys in the eyes.
Yeah, bro.
Dope.
Wow.
Straight dick.
Wow.
All right.
And
What kind of
you
fights
know,
are
That's
these?
pretty.
I want to
Yeah.
see these.
These are very
doing
impressive
lines
fights.
coke and
Okay.
fucking hitting pregnant ladies with his car and shit. Like out of all the guys who deserved it the most to get a loss as a DQ, I mean, in my opinion, John Jones kind of deserved that shit. If he would have done that, I would have been like, haha, yeah, bitch. That's what you get. Because it's like he's always playing fucking. Have you heard that interview where he's like, I like to poke guys in the eyes. It's a little illegal, but whatever. You never heard that fucking?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard that.
he's like, he's a dick.
He's kind of
You
a dick.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a
God
dick.
damn it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's a good piece of dick, but he's a fucking
Wow.
dick. He's a piece of shit dick. I like him.
All right, we're gonna move on to the last thing, and we're gonna end this on this main event only. Right? We got Junior Dos Santos versus the Black Beast,
Oh, yeah.
Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis, one of my boys' favorites. One of my boys' favorites. What do you think about him, David? Is he gonna win this match or not? We got 18 KOs versus 14 KOs. These guys are knockout artists, right?
Yeah.
Is Derek Lewis gonna come in here and knock out Junior Dos Santos at boxing fucking expertise? And
All right,
brawl?
you're putting me on the spot.
That's because I really care about your opinion, bro.
Immediately, what I'm thinking about is like, Junior Dos Santos has like amazing boxing. He has an
Ex-heavyweight champion, by the way.
Yeah, and Derek Lewis maybe not so much,
Just do the whole thing.
but Junior Dos Santos has shown a pretty weak chin.
Has he though?
Yeah, he has.
Recently,
Arguably, they'd say you have.
He got knocked out by fucking Alistair Overeem, and then he got knocked the fuck out by Steven Miocic by like the first encounter. So it's kind of like, and then Derek Lewis has a fucking. I mean, you saw how he knocked the fuck out of
Houston Strong.
What was
like-
it? Alexander? Who's the motherfucker that had the
Ozdemir?
stingray on his fucking back?
Yeah. No, we were there. That was on the fucking McGregor Khabib fucking card,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that was insane
Yeah.
to watch him lose that match
And then the last fucking
And
in the
exchange.
last sections. Fucking
So
What,
based-
30 seconds?
seconds.
Yeah,
seconds.
based on those factors, I feel like even if Junior Dos Santos bests him that whole fight, Derek Lewis only needs one exchange, clean,
So then who do you choose?
and as soon as he lands, he's gonna fucking knock out Junior Dos Santos. And all he needs is one, and he's got power, and he's got a fucking good chin. So I take Derek Lewis.
All right. Derek Lewis out on unload. Who do you choose?
Our boy, man.
That beast.
Yeah, the boy's a beast.
All right. So.
And his balls are hot. You
And his
can't
balls
remember.
are hot.
Walls the
Balls are
high.
And side note, he has the hottest Instagram right now.
Yeah. His Instagram is the funniest. He's the funniest as fuck. Do you follow him on
Yeah,
Instagram?
I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
hilarious. All right. So, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Junior Santos.
Junior Santos, we'll see.
I choose him.
Yeah, it's-
Here's the thing. Junior Santos has been there 100 times before, and so has Black Beast. I mean, he's been there once before for the World Championship fight. He doesn't have what it takes to fucking keep up with that guy, unless I'm going to separate myself from this. The Black Beast, one of my favorite fighters ever. Why? Because he's fucking dangerous. All right.
He's got
Fucking,
bombs.
it's all right. It's like me going into Chicago and I'm just like under 12 years old, red dots everywhere. Okay, they're gonna pick me up no matter what I do.
That's right.
All right, I'm famous out there. All right, so like this guy, Black Beast, can nitpick this dude, can fucking take him down at any given second. All right, that's a factor in that fight. And Junior Dos Santos doesn't have a factor. He has an arsenal of fucking patterns that he's laid down on world champions before. Like he's gonna fucking box him.
What are his patterns?
His patterns is stamina, cardio. He's gonna fucking fight him. Like he's gonna fight him for 5 rounds, right? Like he can fight him for.
He's gonna try to just outfight him.
Outfight him, outstick him. Like he's gonna play the distance. Like I mean,
So what are you trying to say? You want to put a wager in right now, or what? Come on, let's go. Come on.
This is our
Are
new
you
live
going for
segment
wait,
called
hold up. Are you
How
going
Much.
for Derek Lewis or what?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Let's put the money on it. This is our new segment called How Much Money Do I Have in My Pocket? Which is
Or
none.
how much are you willing to wager?
$20.
$20 right now.
$20
Or
right
the
now.
next fucking podcast, you go butt naked.
Oh.
I could do that too.
I was gonna spoil it immediately.
I just think he wants to be naked, guys.
I just want you naked. One of y'all
Buzz.
motherfuckers
Alright.
get it.
Maybe the
They
next
get
podcast,
naked.
no video.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked. I want to get naked. No peeking.
No.
No peeking.
Or you could do no alcohol, nothing, zero.
For
Fucking,
like a month.
no, well, a week.
That's exactly what he said last time.
Yeah, I did.
Why is everyone gonna trying to get me to stop drinking?
Or a week at least.
All right.
Now, how about like instead of money or wagering, any like it's got to be like a dare of some sort.
Like what?
I don't know.
Let's set it at 20, and the next time we can set really good dares.
Yeah.
Here's my.
We'll plan it.
Here's my fucking bet. $20 on the fact that Junior Dos
Shave their
Santos
face.
will win the. Jesus Christ!
Oh my god.
Holy shit, dude!
That was pretty sharp, right?
All right,
Loser shaves their
$20 on the fact that Derek Lewis will lose this fight.
And-
Junior Dos Santos is gonna win this fight.
And they shave their face?
No.
No.
Oh,
$20.
what the fuck?
We're gonna make more
$20.
podcasts, man. It's gonna be fine.
No.
And end the podcast now.
I want to
Yeah.
see it visually
No,
that
let's
you
end this
lost.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the SNP podcast. We got a
Thanks
little
for tuning
sauced,
in.
and there was some technical errors, but it's how it goes. See you guys next week. We're ready for next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
This is on YouTube, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Hit me up
and
on that.
We'll see you next week.
Oliendo pura pinche verga, güey. Me huele verga, pero te lo doy a tu pinche boca, güey.
Okay.
Tómala con tu pinche lengua porque te vale verga todo lo que te doy en tu pinche verga, güey. Lámbelo como si fuera una pinche puta de la pinche verga. Te la doy, te la doy, te la doy. Dale, tiene confianza, güey.
All right, so we're getting God damn it.